Hey guys, I'm Aaron,
I'm Ellie.
and welcome back to Aaron and Ellie on Kirby Drive, aka ANEOKD. So that's a
So
snappier hashtag,
pretty
I feel like.
easy to catch on. Couldn't make it simpler for you guys.
Yeah, really. I mean, hey, we do our best to try and create marketable brands around here. That's why clearly our cover image is so good looking and polished and
I saw I saw our Instagram handle because you made the Instagram that we have, which go follow by the way. But you like followed like my personal account with it, and I was like, what kind of a scammer is trying to follow me? And got a hold of our art.
yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's the abbreviation. So
Well, the long form is like really cluttered, I feel like. So like
that's fair.
Brooke and Connor make a podcast on the TMG network. Like theirs is BNCMAP.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
and ours rhymes, theirs rhymes. I feel like it's like branding synergy right there. So I don't know. That's neither here nor there. It's a little behind the scenes look at how efficient we are at graphic design and also search engine optimization. You know, influencer terms that we totally understand.
Completely.
So we can go ahead and get right into it. It's been a big week for women's sports in general. So
Feels like an eternity.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the problem with recording these on.
A weekly basis.
Yeah, you kind of miss things that happen just over the weekend, but
We got jobs.
yeah. Yeah, we're recording this at 12:44. That's a good thing we should start doing. So currently it is 12:44 a.m. Central Time, April the 11th,
The 11th.
2024. So
Thursday, right?
yes.
Thursday.
Yeah. So just for context as to when we're recording this. So over the weekend we had two national champions crowned in the NCAA.
Crazy.
South Carolina won the women's tournament. And
That's wild to me.
and UConn went back to back. They won their second men's national championship in 2 years. So
Called that one.
yeah.
The women's I did not.
Who did you pick to win the women's?
Iowa.
Oh yeah.
I totally thought Iowa was gonna pull it out.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about that game first. That was, I don't know. It's one of those things where like you have the best player in women's college basketball, and I think she scored like 18 points in the first quarter. Caitlin Clark
Yeah.
really, 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 really put on a show.
Yeah.
I think they went up 10-0 in the first quarter, but I just think that South Carolina is such a complete team. They just didn't have. After that point, like I think that Caitlin Clark, what did she end up finishing with? She ended up finishing with.
Well, it didn't say they have like a really deep bench, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Like they're not only their starters are good, but the rest of their bench is good as well.
Yep. So looking at the box score now, Caitlin Clark, Gabby Marshall, and Kate Martin literally never exited the game. They had to play the entire contest, just because Iowa played with 7 players total. I think like at the end of the game we were watching it and the little stat that came up at the bottom was comparing bench points. 0 for Iowa, 37 for South Carolina.
Yeesh.
And that's the difference in the game. The fact that they were able to run, I think, like 9 players out there.
Yeah.
Really, the only person who played over 30 minutes was Raven Johnson, who was out there locking up Caitlin Clark the best she could after the first quarter. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that, like, obviously what Caitlin Clark has done for the sport can't be overstated. But I do think that the better team ended up winning.
It's fair. Yeah. Because, I mean, she's an incredible player, but, I mean, and not to diss any of the other Iowa players, but, I mean, like, come on. There's a lot of really good names on South Carolina's team, like Camila Cardoso and Mylasia Fulwiley. Like, I don't know. Those are 2 big names. So, I mean, and not to say that, I forgot the other girl on Iowa who's, like, I don't know. She and Caitlin are pretty close, but I forgot her name.
Hannah Stolke, the center.
No.
Let me see.
I'll know it when I see it.
Gabby Marshall, Kate Martin.
I think maybe Kate Martin.
That would make sense. But
I guess maybe her. But yeah, she's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they definitely, like, I don't know, Iowa kept it close for the most part. Like I said, they jumped out to a big lead. And then, I don't know, like, Dawn Staley has literally built, like, a monster in South Carolina. I think I saw a stat they've lost
crazy.
3 games in the last 3 years.
Oh my gosh.
And the only loss that they've had in the last 2 was last year in the Final Four to Iowa. So,
Oof.
they... in 2 calendar years, they've lost 1 game of basketball, which is unreal. Yeah.
Unheard of.
And I mean, Dawn Staley, she deserves her flowers. I mean, she's in those commercials with Coach K, and she deserves to be in the same conversation as like one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game. I think she is the only person to win a Player of the Year award and also a Coach of the Year award. She's won 2 Player of the Year awards, and then she won 4 Coach of the Year awards. So, I don't know. She's different. She's bringing, like, I don't know, obviously, like, I think, like, Pat Summitt and all of them, like, a lot of the women's coaches from back in the day that are, like, big parts of the history of the game are really important, but I think Dawn Staley's been instrumental in building, like, what the modern image of, like, a dynasty in women's basketball can look like. So, I don't know. Good for her. I think that she also, at the end of the game, was like, shout out Caitlin Clark for everything she's done, which might be easier to do if you win. So
that's fair. If you don't win, yeah, that might have been a little bit harder to say. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you don't win, it goes without saying. Mm-hmm. But no, it's always sweet of them to shout them out like that. But I mean, like, and the camera, like when the game ended and they were all doing like their like, you know, good sportsmanship high fives and stuff like that. The camera was on Caitlin Clark the whole time. Like, you got it was basically like Caitlin Cam, just like the whole way through. It's like, wait, did South Carolina just win this game? Yeah. But, I mean, I get it. They wanted to catch her, like, you know, like, everyone thought she'd win. Like, she said she was coming back for a win, and she didn't get it. Like, how is she going to respond? And she's just high-fiving. All right, heart to the crowd. I'm gonna get back in the locker room. Like, her teammates were a lot more torn up than she appeared to be. I know that wasn't probably the case realistically, but she was holding it together a little bit better.
Well, I think we've seen how women in that situation who express emotion have been torn to shreds.
It's fair. Yeah.
Online. Like, I mean, like her teammate Gabby Marshall, she literally had to delete her Instagram account the week before, or like before that game, because the UConn and Iowa game came down to the wire. Basically ended up getting decided because they called an illegal screen on UConn while they were down 1 to give Iowa back the ball with like 3 seconds left. Gabby Marshall was the one who drew the foul, but she was just running over the screen like any other play. Like, it's not like she made like a dirty play or intentionally like did anything egregious to like warrant any type of hate messages coming her way, but I mean, like, she literally had to like delete her account because people were like sending her death threats and like telling her like she's like robbed UConn of a title basically, and
that's
it's like
crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know. The stakes are high. If I were Caitlin, I would just say, yeah,
yeah, that'd be.
I'm gonna take a break.
I'm gonna just keep my life unthreatened and.
Well, that's impossible.
It's fair. Dang, that's crazy. That's just too... I mean, like, no, we talked about it in our last episode, but, like, that's just... Maybe I'll need to get a hobby.
Yeah.
Because...
Or a job, preferably.
Threatening people's lives is maybe a little too far. But, yeah. Good on South Carolina. It was a good game. We were kind of watching it on our phones for half of it. Mm-hmm. But I kept on expecting Iowa to, like, pop ahead at some point. Like, oh, don't worry, they'll pop ahead. Never did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, props to South Carolina for being the better team and pulling out of it, and props to Dawn Staley for the incredible work that she's done. They're like literally they're undefeated this season, like we said, and they're just losing 1 game over 2 years is crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, the best team did win.
And I don't see, and it's easy to forget whenever you see someone come through and like you almost get bored. Like, okay, like Dawn Staley hasn't lost a game since last year's tournament. Whatever. Like, I don't really think about them because there's not like, I mean, like, it's crazy to say, but, like, there's not, like, one shining star in South Carolina, even though Camila Cordoso is, like, literally... Can you stop, please? Sorry, our cats are fighting over my glorious Jaguar painting.
Understandable.
But, yeah, she's literally, like, projected to go top 5 in the WNBA draft, and, there are players on that team that rival her talent already as freshmen and sophomores. Like, I think Tessa Johnson was the MVP of that game for them, and I mean, she scored 19 points. She was a leading scorer. She's a freshman.
That's crazy.
And so
I did see something about that. Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's not like a lot of these people are going. Like, I think Mylesia Fulwiley is a sophomore, so Ashlyn Watkins is a sophomore. I know that for sure. So these players that are getting serious minutes in a national championship game and are going to be there for at least another year, probably 2, they're just going to be around, and they're going to be able to, like, okay, here, all the new freshmen are coming in. This is what it's like to play, I don't know, for a national title and also win it, by the way.
Yeah.
That experience is invaluable. So I don't see Dawn Staley going away anytime soon because, I mean, Caitlin Clark was one of the best players we've ever seen in the women's game, and it just wasn't enough to get past her. So, I don't know. I think Paige will be back next year.
Yeah.
Paige Beckers. I think she might have a shot at, pulling something together, but...
Indeed, we'll have to see what they get together.
Yeah. So...
For next year.
Yeah, that's that. Congratulations to South Carolina. Go Gamecocks. That's so funny. Yeah, I don't know about being the real USC, but you put on a good show, so I won't give you that much credit.
The real USC?
There's a lot of... I don't really understand it, but like whenever I asked you, like whenever Juju Watkins was playing, right, you said like, oh, is this the USC or is this...
Oh, Southern Cal?
Yeah,
or whatever?
so... You know how it's kind of like how the Cowboys are America's team, and people now every year whenever someone wasn't expected to do well, but like sneaks into the playoffs, and so you kind of want them to win so that the Chiefs don't win again or something like that. Mm-hmm. People will dub them like, this is America's team now, but everybody but like I'm pretty sure like America's team is basically patented by the Cowboys, even though I don't know how that ever came to be.
To look into that one.
Yeah, I have no idea, but basically, I think people mostly from South Carolina are upset or get upset online because they think that their school should be called USC, or like they want people to think of South Carolina whenever someone says USC. Mm-hmm. Whenever obviously they're going to think of the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, California, Oh,
I did not personally. I've always thought USC was South Carolina, so I guess they're the type of person that...
But you're also, like, from the South.
It's fair. It's fair.
I mean, I am too, but not that kind of South, so...
What are you trying to say?
South of the border. Yeah, so... I don't know, maybe it is more evenly split than I thought, but I don't know.
Because I said USC, and I was like, wait, USC isn't like South Carolina, and you're like, no, and I was like, oh, Southern Cal. I forgot about that one. Yeah. So, awkward.
I don't know. Because I feel like USC, maybe not so much now. Like, maybe they are turning the tide a little bit, I guess. I mean, they don't really compete in, like, any other sports, though, so who cares? But, like, USC for a long time, they were putting out, like, top draft picks at quarterback and everything, and it was like the hot, sexy place to be. Like, so I don't know. What's his name? Carson Palmer, big name out of USC. So I don't know. South Carolina doesn't have it like that. Jadeveon Clowney. That's about it.
Texans legend.
Yeah, Houston Texans legend Jadeveon Clowney. So yeah, that's enough Southern. Now you got me all twisted up.
The lore.
That's enough South Carolina. Doesn't matter. Just...
Southern Cal, South Carolina. Call it what you want.
I don't care anymore. Just forget it. No. But UConn. Speaking of U of C's, the University of Connecticut.
Bruh. Oh my gosh, please.
The UConn men, led by Coach Dan Hurley, basically wiped the floor with Purdue. I don't think it was even... I don't know. I mean, like, Zach
I
Edey
knew it.
scored 37 points, and they scored 60 as a team. So,
Oof.
it was just hopeless, like, the whole game. They came in with a game plan to just say, okay, just let them score. Just let them score and don't let them shoot the three. And that's what they did all game. And, I mean, yeah, UConn just ran through this whole tournament.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't even really a conversation. UConn was playing. I was like, all right, so UConn's advancing. Easy.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally the I don't know. That's kind of how the men's tournament went this year. I think that people wanted to talk themselves into another possible champion, and I think Houston could have given them a run for their money. Unfortunately, we never really got to see that happen.
Unfortunately not.
But I mean, at the end of the day, the entire UConn team, like the first team all-tournament team was 4 UConn players and Zach Edey. So it was basically just this the players list championship game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish there was more to say. I think that like Zach Edey was really... I think he's been impressive all year. I think that there's a lot of people who... Again, it's that whole thing of like, okay, I'll give you an inch, but you're not... Like, over my dead body, will you take a mile? Like, people are... At the beginning of the year, we're saying, like, Zach Edey actually sucks, low-key. Like, he's terrible. He's just really tall.
Dang.
And it's like... Okay. Like, I don't know. Like, at what point... What difference does it make, you know?
Yeah.
I think clearly he's shown he's very talented. He finishes at a high percentage around the rim and stuff. So, he is, like, very, very, very competent inside in the paint. And so now people are saying, like, oh, well, it's very easy for you. It's like, okay, obviously he's going to be good in college, but, like, he's not going to do anything in the NBA. I don't know. Why not? Like, Draymond's been running around this whole year, like, just punching people. So, like,
yeah,
he can at least do that, you know? I don't think that, like, I don't think 30 NBA teams are going to have a chance to draft Zach Edey and say no twice for every team. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll get a shot, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was in the first round. So, I don't know. I mean, like, he is 7'4", and he played 39 minutes in this championship game. He basically plays the entire game for his team, which is not something that you should be able to do at 7'4". So,
yeah,
he might not be super, like, jump out of the gym like Victor Wembanyama, but that's why he was, like, the number one prospect of all time, because he's just different.
Gosh, did anyone else play the game? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
37 points, and the next highest score is 12?
Yeah, he was out there on the island.
Did anyone else show up on the court? Oh my gosh.
Well, you can see they had, like...
That's crazy.
Probably 7 3-point attempts the whole game. They were literally just... I mean, UConn plays as, like, one cohesive unit. I think Danny Hurley... I think they've won 2 in a row. They've won 6 national championships since 2000. They passed Duke for a number of NCAA championships. So...
Period.
Suck it, Duke. I don't... Again, the bad guys in every movie about integration in sports. That's what Duke is. So, I mean, and they're adding to the resume Cooper Flagg, the main event, M-A-I-N-E event, because he's, guess where he's from?
Connecticut.
I wish he was, but...
Obviously Maine. I know how to spell.
I know how to spell that.
Just had to set the record straight.
Yeah, so I don't know. Duke's gonna look to get back on top next year. I don't care. We'll talk about it when the NCAA tournament's back on.
Yeah.
Final wrap up on NCAA tournament stuff before we move on from college basketball for approximately 330 calendar days.
Truth.
because I will not be watching the regular season.
Unfortunately not.
Otherwise, my bracket creation would not be pure.
We have to go into it knowing absolutely nothing but the seeds that they stand at when we make the brackets. Yeah. So that's the fun of it.
I mean, it's like Mario Party. Like, if you practice the games, you're cheating.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Which I like to practice, so.
See, you're cheating.
Just gotta know the game.
Yeah.
I can perform to my best ability. But even if I studied this thing, like obviously, like, no one got a perfect bracket. So it's like, even if you, and I'm sure some of these people that made brackets, like, they know their stuff. Like, they're, like, watching this stuff, and they do their research or whatever. I'm sure, like, the person who's going, like, the hardest on this is even like, dude, how did I not guess that? Whatever, with, like, this one specific person and this other specific person, you know, there's no way. So if I can't even do that watching consistent college basketball, then I'm not going to waste my time. Respectfully. I'm just going to make myself a bracket.
Respectfully, yeah. We'll see. But yeah, that is our college basketball wrap up. Couple more things to tie up there. Of course, we're on ratings watch because that's the only thing that matters. What is going on?
There's a fly.
So ratings are the only thing that matter, right? Obviously, I'm not gonna watch something unless it's the only thing people are watching that night. Because why would I waste my time? But the women's championship game pulled in 18 million viewers. The men's pulled in 14.7 million viewers. So, yeah, crazy. I think that's like...
groundbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, you probably see it coming a little bit just because, like we said, UConn just ran through everybody.
It's fair.
I don't know.
Not that it wasn't exciting, but it's like, you just kind of knew. In the back of your head, like, well... They'll win it. I mean, Zach Edey is probably really fun to watch, but I mean, you just know they're not going to be able to pull it out.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, it was also a little bit later on, like, a Monday night, but I think that there was generally just, like, more interest in what was happening in Caitlin Clark versus South Carolina. So that's a great sign, and I think that momentum is going to continue as she gets drafted into the NBA along with her arch nemesis, Angel Reese. Air quotes for that, audio listeners.
Air quotes,
yeah. So yeah, that's that. I think that obviously it's clear now that women's sports are superior and that they should just cancel the men's tournament because...
For sure.
Because the ratings are in, and again...
Guess what? Fell short.
Yeah. And I'm not going to watch something that has less ratings than
Absolutely
something else.
Not.
So
even if it's one less rating, must not be worth watching. So
yeah.
Guess who's only giving the viewership? My viewership goes to the top watched programming. So
every night, Big Bang Theory's on. We don't.
That's the one people are watching, so I'm watching that
one.
Oh my gosh, no, I couldn't do that, please.
What's the most purchased book of all time? The Bible? That's all we read. I'm not reading anything unless it's number one. I'm not watching anything unless it's number one.
Absolutely, yeah. Whatever the public says, it goes. So, imagine if that's how we actually live our life.
What else is number one? I only listen to, well, you only listen to, what's it called?
Don't put me on blast.
This ain't Texas.
Well, I go, hey, Beyonce's queen. But no, I literally only listen to like the reel of that one, and it's just catchy. So just go around singing like little blurbs of it. But now I'm going around singing Benson Boone because his album came out. Shameless plug. Shameless
plug for someone who's not
someone else, yeah. No, his album's so good.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, no, I do go around singing Beyonce, Queen Bey.
Yeah, I think the polar opposite of Benson Boone is Beyonce, probably.
Props.
So, I don't think Beyonce ever had a song called Cry. Do you ever feel like you have rockets tied to your
fireworks tied to your rollerblades?
Sorry.
That's what he asks.
Do you ever feel like you have jetpacks tied to your ice skates? Is that ever... You ever feel like that?
I don't exactly know.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag floating through the wind?
I don't exactly know what he meant by the fireworks tied to the rollerblades. I'm sure if I looked into it deeper, I would get the purpose behind that. But
I'm sure there is some symbolism there, yes.
Regardless of that, it's a fire album. No pun intended. Fireworks. Tied to the rollerblades.
I see. Yeah, that's very... Maybe that's what he meant.
Maybe.
I don't even know how that would make any sense, but...
Just fire? Maybe. Maybe it's for the listener to interpret.
Yes. The purpose of art is to be witnessed and interpreted, so you're right.
Truth.
So really, when you think about it, you can just do anything, and then...
Yeah.
It's... What does that mean? Your problem, not mine.
Okay, so if we haven't lost all of our viewers by now, all our listeners...
We have some big Benson Boone heads and the Benson Booners in the comments.
Proud Benson Booner.
If you're a Benson Booner, sound off in the comments.
Just let me know that I'm not alone.
I just want that to the tune of "I'm a Goofy Goober, yeah. I'm a Benson Booner, yeah."
Oh my gosh! Major apologies to Benson Boone.
Benson, if you're listening, come on the pod. That's all I can say.
That is all I can say. That is all I can say.
I'm a Benson Booner, yeah. Oh my goodness.
I think that's funny. I think you're funny.
That's a great bit. You know it. Anyways, moving on. What else do we have on the docket today? We can't talk about being a Benson Booner all day. Let's see. Another thing, the last thing, of course, is about money, about getting paid.
Ratings leading into...
Yeah, cash. Because, again, that's all we care about. I am personally responsible for all the money that flows out of Nike's pockets and into athletes' wallets. So.
Oh, did that rhyme? Pockets? No, you just made it sound like it rhymed.
Bars. Okay, and then anyways, so before the national championship game, Zach Edey released a statement, or maybe he was even probably directly asked a question, and then of course ESPN just takes his response as if unprompted and says he's mad basically that he doesn't get any of the NIL deal like advantages because he's not American. He was born in Canada, so he's here on a student visa. He can't legally accept payment for what he's doing, which is, playing basketball.
When you put up the whole team's points. Yeah. Come on.
It's actually
That's
ridiculous.
Robbery.
And I don't understand it.
When you are the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an injustice, and I feel like he should.
They would not be in the I'm convinced they would not be in the tournament if he was not playing for their team. So. No.
I mean, they lost to a 16 seed just recently, so.
Yeah. So the fact that he's just not whatever. Like I get it. Everyone's making the argument you can't just come into the country and steal American money or something like that or whatever. But he's earned it. He's not just all right, I'm just gonna snatch and run or whatever. He's here doing he's, if anything, he's bringing in more revenue for the school. Mm-hmm. He's earning it. Mm-hmm. The least he can do is be paid for his name, image, and likeness. Yeah. So.
Well, that's the thing is people are online are
upset.
It's not
cheating the system.
Yeah, I saw some people comment and they're like, I can't just walk into Canada and expect to be treated like a full citizen. And it's like.
Well, he didn't just.
Yeah, it's I don't think he's asking to run for president, dog. I think he's just saying hey, why can't Nike slide me a couple $100,000? And why are you getting mad that Nike can't spend their money to give him $100,000?
Yeah, are you personally affected by Nike sponsoring him?
Yeah, it's not like the United States government says, okay, our athletics department, aka Nike Limited Corp, will now confer everybody in the state of Tennessee's tax dollars onto Zach Edey. So, sorry, that's what we do. Your kids don't get to go to school anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, that's just not.
if he was to play basketball anywhere else in the world, Nike, an American company, or whoever is like, trying to pay him money, could give him money, It's fine. It's not like they're like, oh, sorry, Nike only has American employees and only, like,
yeah,
we only want American companies giving money to American people. Like, that hasn't been the case for 150 years. So, I don't know. Weird thing to get upset about, but yeah, he should be paid.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
It's one thing if you're just like, I don't really care if he gets paid or not. Like,
yeah,
I don't really like, I'm not really plugged into that. Like, he'll get his eventually, but it's another thing to be like
actively against.
Yeah, actively he shouldn't be paid. in any situation, like, there are still people who are mad that people are getting paid at all through NIL,
right?
Which blows my mind.
Don't know.
Just hating. Just because
people are going out there and they're chasing their bag.
Yeah, because
this is their full-time job.
Because your coach didn't send in your tapes, is why.
Why didn't I get to be paid? I'm good. They just don't know that I'm good.
Real.
That's what it is.
Wow, Ellie is starting a war in the Instagram comment section right now.
Sorry, guys.
Everybody over the age of 45 is fuming right now, by the way.
Who over the age of 45 is watching this podcast?
One person, apparently, according to analytics, so...
Oh, shout out.
Okay.
One of our 45-plus crowd.
Yes, as long as you're not annoying in the Instagram comment section. That is a prerequisite for any age group, but you will be monitored more closely.
We'll send out our people.
Yeah, we are monitoring you. Okay. We're going to talk about something very sad now. Moving on. The Rockets are toast. They're done. I don't know why I ever got my hopes up, because nothing good can ever happen to the Rockets. I don't know. Like, ever since Michael came back in 96, 96, it's just been terrible. So.
Pain.
What else is there to say? I don't know why.
And their merch was so good this year. Oh my gosh. Now we have to trash it.
I just don't understand what, like, again, Tari Eason, a player for the Rockets, in case you missed, like, either the first or second episode. I don't know when we talked about it.
I think it was the second episode.
The Rockets were on a run to catch the Warriors, the Golden State Warriors, for the 10th seed in the West, which would earn them a spot in the NBA play-in tournament for a chance to go to the NBA playoffs for, I think, the first time since James Harden got traded in, like, 2019. Yeah, so basically, the Rockets were really slumping towards the middle of the season. Jalen Green, who is one of the Rockets' top players, picked really early in the draft a couple years ago, had been slowly coming along. At this point, 3 years, I think, in his career, he was really struggling from the field, really finding it hard to find a place in the Rockets' starting lineup. People were calling for him to be traded. People were calling for him to be, like let go, sent away. Then the news breaks. He's going to be a father. He realizes he has a family to feed. Explodes onto the scene. Unbelievable run that they're on.
Yeah.
They're winning. I think they won 11 games in a row at one point to come all the way back to basically tied with the Warriors.
Yeah.
And then, for whatever reason, Tari Eason, a player who hasn't suited up for the Rockets since January. So Tari Eason posts on his story that he's basically mocking the Warriors, telling them to come out to play. Already, as soon as that story goes up, we feel uneasy. We talked about it last week, but after that post, the Rockets did not win another game.
Did not. Really.
So
basically it's Tari's fault.
Yeah, and I don't understand the need to do it. I don't understand why you would give them bulletin board material like that.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I always get nervous with those types of things.
Yeah.
Don't jump out on a ledge.
Yeah, again, it's one thing if, like, I don't know, if Jalen Green gets really excited in the moment and he decides to, like, start talking trash, fine. Like, you just let the moment take control of you. But, like, Tari, who has not even been playing, is losing his mind on social media. And again, they might have lost all those games anyway, but why are you... the problem is you can point to this exact moment in time. They were winning games. This video comes out. They lose the rest of their games. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a really bad look, and it makes me really sad. So, I don't know why I get my hopes up for things like that. I don't know. At least it was fun while it lasted.
Truth.
That's all we can say.
It was a fun run, but all good things must come to an end.
So, they're toast. They're done. And I don't know why we ever bothered thinking they weren't. So,
Pain.
awesome.
Their merch was really good this year.
Yeah.
Pretty fire. So at least they got that going.
At least we have that. Okay, so next thing up, just a small little bit nugget of history. I don't know if we have a name for the segment yet, but it's relevant now because Deestroying. I don't know if you know who that is.
I saw that on our little outline. I was like, Deestroying? Who's that?
So Deestroying, you may know him from social media. He is a Costa Rican XFL player. He's a kicker. His full name is Donald De La Haye. Basically, if you don't know who this person is, his story, he was kicking for UCF, the University of Central Florida, a couple years ago, probably like 7 years ago at this point. He was also at the time posting videos to YouTube, just fun videos, him doing like ridiculous like kicks, just whatever he was doing to train, just showing like a couple moments in his life doing that kind of thing. And he was getting pretty popular on that platform on YouTube. So he started to qualify for monetization at that point. This was before players were allowed to make money based on their name, image, or likeness.
In college?
In college,
okay.
Yes. And so the University of Central Florida basically gave him a choice. Either stop posting on YouTube and continue playing for us, or see you later.
Dang.
And so I think in some of the stuff that I've seen from him, he's talked about how like YouTube was his only escape in a lot of ways whenever he felt like he was struggling at that time. So he stuck with that. He chose YouTube over playing in college. And
dang.
I mean, many people might think that's a dumb thing to do, but also when you think about the number of kickers in the NFL at any one given time, like, no guarantee you're going to make it there anyway. You might as well, give it a shot with the thing that is working for you now and brings you some kind of joy. No judgment on my part for that decision. But
yeah.
he's been real big on NFL social media because he is like ridiculously talented. Like some of the kicks he makes, he does all kinds of trick shots, kicks from like 70 plus yards he's making.
Dang.
He is just like, and he's really good on camera because
YouTube.
He was good enough on camera to where he had to like stop playing football because he was too good at it. So he has been basically like ever since he got let go from the UCF, he's basically been posting constantly, doing his regular content, but also like in a plea to be like, somebody in the NFL sign me. Somebody sign me. His whole mission has basically been documenting his journey back to the NFL. Like he had a pathway to do that, and someone who should never have been in a position to make him make this choice asked him to make a decision that changed his life forever, right?
Yeah. And
now he's working his way back. And recently, they've had a couple different developmental leagues spring up, like the UFL, the USFL. They've combined now into the UFL again, or the XFL has combined with the USFL to be the UFL. It's the United Football League. It's a spring football league. They're 2 weeks into the season at this point.
Oh, yeah.
We tuned into the Houston game for probably 10 seconds.
It was just kind of in the background, basically.
Yeah. So, we have watched it, though. But basically, he, for the first time ever, was able to play professional football because he signed a deal with the San Antonio Brahmas. And he was going to kick on like a professional team. It's a great story. He's almost all the way back, right? People from those developmental leagues often do get signed to the NFL rosters whenever they prove that they're good enough. So
dang.
He was like knocking on the door.
Making his way back.
In what I believe is the second game of the season, he's kicking off. runs all the way down the field, which, again, I thought they changed the kickoff rules, but I guess not.
Maybe not in this league.
Yeah, so this is like a new league that just started this year. So, I don't know. He's running full speed, makes a tackle on the guy, and it's not like a good tackle at all, but like the guy who he hit is very upset with him. And like almost, I think like it almost like results in like a brawl. Nothing else comes of it until like I think yesterday, he announces that he has fractured his neck making that tackle, and so he's just done for the year now.
What?
Because
fractured his neck?
He went to go dive and he made the tackle, but he basically launched himself at that player.
Okay.
With his head like straight down. And so
prime breaking position.
Yeah, prime breaking condition, as Ellie, the the professional medical worker, says.
Yes. If you want to break your neck, that's the way to do it.
In your professional opinion, it was prime breaking position.
Yes.
Okay.
Position, not condition.
Condition.
Position. Proposition.
Anyways. So yeah, that's a tough.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, that is really sad.
What does the brawl have to do about it?
I think that it's just a separate thing.
Oh.
I think that the kick returner was either embarrassed that he got tackled by a kicker, or was upset that he was like basically like launched into by
head first.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was just like it was just like an interesting point to the story where like this is like it happened and like he got up and walked away, and clearly like I don't know the full story, like if he was like left during the game, but he just announced on his social media that he was out for the season.
That kind of sucks.
It is really sad. Hopefully he gets another chance someday.
Yeah.
But the way that he presents himself, he is like really talented. So. But yeah, that's the story of Deestroying is his handle.
Deestroying.
Yeah, with 2 E's in destroying.
Deestroying.
So yeah, that's an interesting side character in the world of sports. If you're just now getting into this, someone who's just kind of been around the game for a while, who was genuinely making a bid to make it to the NFL, and now he's got to at least wait another year. So that is tough.
Pain and suffering.
Yeah.
That sucks for him.
He's had a long road, so prayers to him.
Yeah, hopefully a good recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Where he comes back even better than he was before.
Yeah. What would you do if someone said you can either kick or continue playing here? Or like continue doing what you like to do? Like if someone said gun to your head, like quit the podcast or keep kicking for UCF.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it would depend on how much I care about, like, posting, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, if I really loved posting and putting myself out there like that, then, like, obviously that'd be kind of a huge hit just to keep on kicking. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, if it's your passion and you're like, I would, you know, I'd so much rather kick and, like, get to, like, express myself through this I guess it's, like, which outlet do I want to express myself on? Because you can express yourself in different ways on different mediums. So... Yeah. I don't know. It would be a tough choice, but I mean, obviously, it seems like this is, you know, one that he liked better. Mm-hmm. You know, because at least he got to make a name for himself on YouTube. And oh my gosh, our cats are in the trees right now, in the wild.
Yeah, this is gonna be really painful to edit, but anyways.
But yeah, so it looks like he really did make a good name for himself, and that it was worth it for him to pursue the route that he did. It just really sucks that he, on his way back to having both, like, things, both passions, he kind of fractured his neck. Yeah. So. That's tough. Just a minor speed bump.
Yeah. I mean, I think Brittany Broski had kind of a similar story, right? Where she, I think she was talking about this on the TMG podcast, but she's basically saying, like, she was working at an insurance company, I think, when she made the kombucha girl, like, whenever that meme started going viral. And then I guess somebody at her company saw it and was like, you basically have to decide if you want to be like a young professional, or if you want to be someone who like makes goofy videos online. And she was like, well, I'll just do the videos thing. And I don't even think it's
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's just like, well, I would rather do this than have a job. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like, I don't want to work somewhere or be in a situation where you don't allow me to like express myself creatively.
Yeah.
So.
It's kind of very limiting.
Mm.
Not very like free or expressive or anything like that.
Yeah. And again, it's stupid. Like, it's a YouTube channel. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally his own business, literally based on his name, image, and likeness. Like, even more so than the game of football is. Like,
Yeah.
even more so than all of collegiate sports is for these athletes, which again is why it's so ridiculous that they didn't get paid until a couple years ago. But like, a YouTube channel in his name is making him money, and you're like, actually, don't do that.
Don't give him that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that's that story. I didn't know we'd talk about it for so long, but it is interesting. We will probably have to skip the rest of this. We are going to start what might be a weekly tradition, just depends on what we have going on in the world of sports. But we're going to have a new segment here. It's going to be called the Ball Knower of the Week Challenge.
Ball Knower of the Week.
We're going to find out who knows ball on this podcast. Is it me or is it Ellie? This week, we are going to be doing...
Whole year.
Really, it is an every minute of everyday competition. Who knows ball better than anyone? Who is going to be the ball knower of every second? That's how you become a champion.
I'm the biggest baller.
Okay.
So.
We'll see.
Watch out.
So, the premise behind the ball knower of the week challenge is basically we're going to make predictions for the week of sports coming up, and then we're going to compare after these events happen, see who was the closest to see who got the most of their predictions correct. That's the premise of this segment here. We're going to have a different challenge every week. This week, we're going to be doing a WNBA mock draft because the WNBA draft is April 15th. I believe that's next Monday, correct?
Ooh, yeah, that's close.
So it'll be 3 days after we post this video. And then the week after that, we'll probably do one for the first round of the NFL draft as well. So we'll have a good, solid slate to start off on here. We'll put up the graphics and we'll follow along live with the event. Tally up points as we go on our Instagram. What is that handle again?
Oh, Lord. It's... Oh, gosh.
It's at ANEOKD. So, there you go. So, yeah, sorry this is a little choppy. These cats are, like, ruining the recording today. I don't know why. But
they're just feeling extra hyper today.
Yeah, they're out of control.
They're expressing themselves.
We're going to go pick by pick. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I don't want to have you cheating off of my picks.
Both of these were done separately without any knowledge of the other, so.
Truth. I can go first, I guess.
Okay, so you'll read your first pick, I'll read my first pick.
Oh, okay.
We'll go like that, okay?
Okay, let me just pull your... Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So.
Yours is a lot more detailed. What the heck? Did you put explanations next to yours?
I have pre-saved my reasoning for all of these.
Now, what the heck?
Not necessarily a requirement, but it does mean that I do...
For the YouTube listener, literally, this is the beginning of his stuff, and then this is my whole thing. So I was wondering why it took him so long. He was been working on it for like 2 days, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm still finishing it up tonight." Like when I was working on mine, I was like, "Oh, I just like the name of the team." He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, so we're gonna find out who knows ball.
You're like the Nick Casario of this.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I forgot what they were calling. Oh, they were calling themselves Cacerajos. I remember now.
Because he's the ball knower.
Yeah, he is the ball knower. He can know my balls any day. Anyways,
Anyways.
So Ellie's gonna get us started. Pick number 1.
Probably is better that I'm going first then.
In the 2024 WNBA Draft will be, according to Ellie,
none other than Caitlin Clark.
All right.
For the Indiana Fever.
Guard out of Iowa. I also picked the same. And I don't think there's any explanation necessary. Like, this has been the number one pick since the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
I think that not only are you getting like an amazing player who can shoot that thing from anywhere and also is a ridiculous playmaker, always knows how to set her teammates up well for easy shots. You're also getting the name, the attention. I think I saw something today, like 36 out of 40 of the Indiana Fever's games this year are going to be nationally televised.
Dang.
So, I mean, if you live in Indiana and you're like, I don't know, you got the Indiana fever in you, like, this is your moment. This is your one shining moment to go out and, like, I don't know, make a name for yourself. Because, again, you do live in Indiana. No shade to our Indiana listeners, but you do live in Indiana. So,
something to look forward to.
Yeah, something to look forward to. And, again, something for all of us to look forward to. I mean, maybe she can turn that franchise around. But that's an obvious no-brainer, number one. So,
Dang. Number two.
Mm-hmm.
I did Camila Cardoso.
All right.
Going for the LA Sparks.
Okay. I see. Now, this is the point in the mock draft where either I win ball nowhere of the century by getting this entire first round exactly correct, or I lose instantly to Ellie on the second pick in the draft. Because here's my reasoning. All right, let me break it down for you guys.
So who are you picking?
Second pick in the draft is currently held by the Los Angeles Sparks. Now.
Oh dear.
Now, listen carefully. Okay. Now.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So, the Dallas Wings have 2 picks in this first round of the draft. 5th overall, 9th overall. They, I think, have the lowest cap space in the WNBA. Given their roster construction, they really don't have the space to take on 2 first-round picks this year. Now, they can trade back or trade for future picks or trade for a player or draft someone who, like one of the guards from Australia who may not even enter the WNBA this year. Maybe they'll just reserve their rights for a year. Draft someone who's not going to be on the books, not going to be on the team. They could do that. Or they could trade both of their picks for the 2nd overall pick, consolidate their assets, give them to the Los Angeles Sparks, who are in desperate need of a complete overhaul, jump up to 2, take Cameron Brink, 2nd overall, Dallas Wings. That is my pick.
Yeah, that's either going to be, like, brilliant masterminds, like, oh my gosh, someone needs to study this man, or just the most, like, insane, unnecessary acrobatics to choose Cameron Brink for going for 2nd, because ESPN also projected her to go 2nd.
Yeah, but if it's not the Dallas Wings, it doesn't count, okay?
It doesn't count.
So, that's my 2nd overall pick. Everything else is going to be a little bit faster than that, but basically the trade that sends Cameron Brink to the Dallas Wings is the Dallas Wings 5th and 9th overall pick for the Los Angeles Sparks 2nd overall pick. Mm-hmm. Boom.
Boom. You heard it here first. So then I have 3rd overall, Cameron Brink, going to Chicago Sky.
Okay. For Chicago's pick, they are going to stay put here. All right. Ellie's going to go handle something real quick because Dahlia's being ridiculous.
It's the mouse.
OMG. They're playing with their mouse toy and some wrapping paper right now. So for the 3rd overall pick, I do have the Chicago Sky staying put. They are going to select Rickea Jackson, forward from Tennessee. Now, they have lost 2 of their top 3 guards, and they've lost their only starting forward, basically. So, they're a little bit light in Chicago, but they're going to replenish some of that talent by picking up someone who scored 29.5 points per game in the tournament this year. So, elite scoring, absolutely ridiculous. So,
Indeed.
Easy pick at number 3.
In that case, whoopsies. Have her a little bit later.
Well, I don't know about easy, but, guaranteed though.
It's fair. But 4th, we're on 4th now?
Yep, 4th overall pick.
4th overall, I have Alea. Aaliyah Edwards.
Yep, Aaliyah Edwards.
Going to the LA Sparks.
Okay. So, who do I have at 4? So, the Sparks, again, they've traded their second overall pick. Now they're picking at 4 for the first time. I think that Camila Cardoso is still going to be there at 4. So, they miss out on Cameron Brink, but they do get, I think, the most ridiculous player physically in this draft. Camila Cardoso is 6'7".
Yeah.
She is a monster on the boards, and she can score as well. So I think that that's a no-brainer for someone who, like, the Sparks just lost one of their all-time players. Nneka Ogwumike just left after 12 years. She had been on the Sparks for basically her entire career. Gone now. And so they need to rebuild inside. So I think they're going to start from the front, because I think if you can build a ridiculous front court in the WNBA, you already have an advantage. So that's their pick for 4.
True. Number 5. I have Angel Reese.
All right.
For the Dallas Wings. I just think that she's too good to go 7th.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the mock drafts have her going a little bit later than I think we do. I also have Angel Reese going 5th overall, but remember, that is the pick that the Sparks acquired from their trade with Dallas. So I think that Angel Reese in LA is one of the best things that can happen for the league. I think that not only is she really talented on the court, but I think that name, that star power out in the city of stars, like, forget about it. I think that's a slam dunk, and I think that whenever Caitlin Clark comes to town in LA, I think that stadium is going to be packed out. And I think that would be, like, an ideal situation for the WNBA itself. So
that's true. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. Which, again, probably not, at least, I mean, I don't know. I hope that's not how the GMs are thinking in the WNBA. Like, I think that hopefully they're still just trying to build their team's business as usual, but I can see how the appeal of an Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark rivalry happening every couple games would be a huge draw for someone like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my pick for 5.
Dang, I like it. Number 6, I have Rickea Jackson. Went to the Washington Mystics.
Mm-hmm.
So, a little bit further down.
Hey, who knows? I also have a forward going there, Aaliyah Edwards from UConn. So, Alina Del Donne is not playing this year. She's, like, stepped away from the game. I don't fully understand, like, if it's just, like, a personal thing or if it's because she really has a problem with the organization. But either way, they're going to need to replace her at some point. She's getting a little bit up there in age. So, I think that Aaliyah Edwards is a great place to start. Obviously, they're going to go forward, I feel like, but it just depends on who's there, and that's who I think will be there at 6. So,
yeah. True. For 7, I had Isobel.
Probably Isabel, yeah.
Isabel Borlase going to the Minnesota Lynx.
Yeah.
Those Australian players, tell you what.
But she's the one who might not play right in the...
Well, no.
Well, I think it would still be a good pick, but because she hasn't decided if she's going to play in the WNBA or not. And either way, I think they would still retain her rights until 2025. But, yeah. Especially, like, the Sky have 2 picks in the first round as well. So, would it be the end of the world to spend one on someone who may or may not be there? So,
yeah.
So, wait, who just picked them? What did you just say?
7.
Okay, I think you have those out of order. Or you might have missed one.
Did I?
Because the Lynx are picking at 7. Oh, that's you had the Lynx picking.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I messed that up. My bad. Yeah, I have the Lynx picking J.C. Sheldon from Ohio State. I think that the Lynx don't really have any glaring holes, so I think that they just pick the best player available, and I think that at that point, J.C.'s the one. So that's what I'm picking.
Yeah. And then...
You have her going next.
Yeah, I have her going next. So she would be 8.
Mm-hmm.
So pick 8 would be J.C. Sheldon for me.
Okay.
For the Chicago Sky.
All right. And I have the other Australian, Naidu Puak, the forward.
Oh, okay. You didn't even put her in here. You didn't even put Isabel in here.
I did not. I think that, I whenever Dallas was still picking at 9, I might have put her there because, again, like they can't afford to have someone on their roster right now.
It's fair.
So if she's just waiting, playing in the WNBL over in Australia, great pick at 9. But again, remember, the Sparks own the 9th overall pick now. So
true.
No point thinking about that. The other Australian from Down Under will be going to Chicago, though, to help rebuild that team. So
there you go. Still, the Australians. They ball out. And then at 9... Yeah, at 9, I have Alyssa Pilley going to the Dallas Wings.
All right. Again, the Wings do not own that pick anymore. It will belong to the Sparks. I think that Daisha Fair is going to be their pick there at 9. She's a point guard from Syracuse. I think she played her heart out in the tournament. Like, I think she turned a lot of heads. And I think that she played her first couple seasons at a smaller school, went to Syracuse and held her own. So I don't see why she wouldn't be able to do it at the next level. She is a little bit on the smaller side. She's only 5'5", but I mean, when you draft Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese with your first 2 picks in the first round, you can afford to take a smaller point guard who knows how to score the ball and distribute as well. So that's my pick for 9. I mean, hey, the Sparks walk out of the first round with Camila Cardoso, Angel Reese, and Daisha Fair. Forget it.
That'd be pretty crazy. Pretty unstoppable team. Definitely give Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever a run for their money.
Right.
But so that was 9. So 10, I have Charisma Osborne for the Connecticut Sun.
Mm-hmm. Singular Sun, not the Suns.
Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, legally distinct from the Phoenix Suns.
Only a sun.
There, I have Alyssa Pilley going to the Suns. I think they were either second to last or last. Sorry,
Please.
Sun. My bad.
Come on now.
She's going to the Sun. I think they were last or second to last in 3-point shooting, and she shot 40% from the 3-point line. So I think that'll be an instant upgrade over what they've got going on right now.
Truth. 11, I have Jessica Carter for the New York Liberty.
Mm-hmm. All right. New York Liberty, I have Nika Mule from UConn solely for her performance against Caitlin Clark in the Final Four game. I mean, New York's perimeter defense needs some work, and man, did she give Caitlin Clark hell in that game. I think that if you're the GM of the Liberty, you saw that and you're just like, okay, I just need someone who can do that. So
basically, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I just get her who did that. You might as well.
Her did that. Yeah. And then my last one, I have... How do you pronounce her name? Daisha? Yeah. Daisha Fair. Going to the Atlanta Dream. Basically, just because of her... She's just a little short. It's okay. I'm a little short too. But... Yeah. That was my really only purpose. So, I'm sure she is a baller and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then my final pick, I have Charisma Osborne going to the Atlanta Dream. They actually just received a player from the Sparks in in Jordan, Canada. So they got the point guard that they needed. Now they're going to pick up the shooting guard that they need as well. You know, decent shooter from outside, but also really smart, instinctual on defense. So I think that'll round out a pretty good backcourt for them. And that pretty much does it for our mock drafts. We'll post the graphics hopefully by the time this podcast goes up. I just need to teach myself Photoshop or whatever. And then as the draft happens, we will keep score live, and on the next episode of the podcast, we'll declare who the ball knower of the week was.
Who knew ball? Guess we'll see. Well, we'll have to go up with like some type of, I guess for like each thing that we get right, we get a point. Yeah, right? It'll just be most out of the 12. Point based, yes. Although if I get the trade between the Wings and the Sparks, I get 15 million points. Yeah. I'll already have been busted by that point if the trade goes on. Yeah, maybe it won't be so fun because it'll be over after this. Just all right. Someone guess you get the crown for the week. Yeah. Well, hey, what if I get all the other picks right though? If I just automatically get 3 wrong and then get the rest of them right, and you just get, I don't know, it could happen. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, and then tally it up. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll be
Anything
keeping an
can
eye on
happen.
that. April 15th is the day of the WNBA
Tax
draft.
day. Isn't that also tax day?
It is tax day. So
watch the draft and submit your taxes at the same time. Don't go to jail.
yeah, we're watching you.
Oh.
But yeah, that's what we had this week. We got interrupted a lot by the cats.
So sorry about that. They just want to be a part of it, really. They're just trying to express themselves. So who are we to stop them?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll get some deals.
Maybe so.
Sponsorship?
Right. Yeah, if you want to sponsor our cats, let us know. But even though they interrupted us a lot, we got a lot done today. We talked about the NCAA tournaments. We came up with a name for Benson Boone's fans. Shout out to the Benson Booners.
Loud and proud, baby.
Yeah, loud and proud. We also predicted our WNBA drafts. We made our mock drafts. So
Truth.
this time next week, we'll know who is the ball knower of the week.
Yeah, very true. And also, just to round out all the sports, the Astros still suck, if you're wondering. In case it was in the back of your head, keeping you up at night, just know they still suck.
Fair enough.
So that's what's going on in Houston. Basically, the Texans are our only hope for the next few years. So
Yeah. Right.
H is up.
H is up as always. Remember, bring back the comments. Don't let the WNBA forget that. Don't let the NBA forget about that. Just keep it front of mind. The Comets need to come back. They should be picking first overall this year as an expansion team.
Period.
But until then, we will not stand back and stand by. So
Very true. Very true.
If the Houston Comets are not reinstated, every basketball court in America will have the F word on it. The F word. You have one day.
You have one day. I'm gonna sweat.
I don't know. They always give an ultimatum. What is it? What is the ultimatum? What is that
The
from?
ultimatum.
What is that from?
It's kind of funny.
They call it that because you either get all the tomato or none of it. I don't know where that's from, but I know it's from something.
The ultimatum.
Hold on, guys. Pause while we figure out what the ultimatum is from.
I can't even spell tomato.
It's a show that I've watched recently. I think it might be from BoJack Horseman. I think Todd says that. That would make a lot of sense.
That would make a lot of... I'm going to go with that's probably Todd.
Okay. That's classic Todd Chavez behavior. So, all right.
Yeah, it is Todd.
Let's go, dude. I'm locked in.
That's so funny.
You can't keep getting away with this.
Anyways, well...
You said Ellie says she hates it whenever people try and sign off and then they keep talking. So we're going to bring you another 30 minutes of content straight to your ears.
No, just because it's like, you're like, oh, okay, now it's time to stop. It's like, oh, wait, I actually have something, and then I have FOMO, so I'm like, I can't miss out, but they're probably just going to ramble on about nothing, and it doesn't even matter, and now I'm just wasting time, and I'm just like hovering over like the stop button, and oh my gosh, it's so annoying to me. Anyways, to other people, maybe y'all love being put on the hook like that.
Yeah, to everyone else, if you click off before the very last second of this podcast, you're a hater, and I don't know what to tell you.
It's just the little things.
The little things.
Anyways,
that's
my piece.
Embroider that on a pillow.
Probably everywhere. It's already done.
We have 27 minutes to go.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll spare y'all.
Okay. All right. Fine. Again, let it be noted. I want to give you guys 30 more minutes of content, but
the record can stand.
Let the record show.
I'm trying to save you.
Yeah.
But it won't work unless we actually stop.
Los Angeles Sparks front office, if you're listening to this, make the call.
You know what to do.
Anyways, we'll see you guys next week. We'll find out who knows ball, and yeah, thanks for listening.